morning, everyone. I'm Anjali S. Ablir, and my topic is these four approaches to accomplish the goals of multicultural education. But before that, I will discuss first what is multicultural education. So, multicultural education, it refers to an educational approach that values and respect diversity in the classroom. So, a multicultural education, it also aims to create an inclusive learning environment which students ma-feel nila nga they are belong even though lahi-lahi sila mga cultures, beliefs, tradition, ug unsa pa na ilahang like gender, di ba? Na sila equality pag-treat sa mga teacher. So, ma-feel nila nga they are respected and empowered. So, let's move on to the first approach. So, it's called contributions approach. So, diri, gi-emphasize nila and also gi-recognize ang paghatag of value sa lain-laing cultural groups to society. So, ethnic heroes and holidays are included in the curriculum. So, when we say ethnic heroes, is dili lang ni mga heroes nga nagpakamatay sa atong country, but it also includes sa atong leaders in our country, our community, or even though sa lain pang mga ahensya nga mga leaders. And also it also includes sa mga writers. So one of example nga writers nga dakog na contribute sa tua ay si Dr. Jose Rizal, di ba? Gi-write niya ang duha ka novel nga which is dako kay siya nakatabang sa kasaysayan sa ato ang country. And also appeal sa ang mga ethnic heroes like sa mga individual nga dakog na contribution, dako sila contribution sa atong country. So appeal na sila sa gitawag natong ethnic heroes. Then holidays are, di ba, culture man to ng mga Filipino, like holidays, example is like Christmas, di ba? Culture nato na we celebrate Christmas, and lain pang mga events, mga like sinulog o napatay mga celebrate like mga saint, di ba? The culture nato na as a Filipino ang mag-celebrate og na ng mga holidays. So let's move on to the second approach. So gitawag siya additive approach. So, ang additive approach, from the word additive, so means na ay gidugang na mga perspectives, cultures, and experience into existing curriculum without replacing it. So, wala po sila gibawa. So, this means adding content, resources, and teaching methods nga napakita sa nalaing culture and experience sa mga estudyante. So example ani is ang pag-appeal sa mga pag-include sa mga literatura. So di ba namatay subject nga literature or sa Tagalog na papanitikan. So by that nakabalot ta og unsay mga history nga nahitabo sa atong country before. O nakabalo sa ang mga students, as a students, kung unsa ang mga culture nila before. So by that, ang mga estudyante, makahatag sila og kanang value sa atong mga, sa ato ang mga culture karon. Then also, the art nga gikan sa lain nga culture. So now, let's move on to the third approach. So, transformation approach. So, ang transformation approach, the focus ni siya sa pagbago sa curriculum para masigurado sa mga teacher nga matudluan gyud ang bata on how they view points sa mga events and issues from diverse ethnic and cultural perspectives. So this approach, wala lang nadungagi ang units ang topic kabay sa lain-laing cultural and groups kundili gibago ang whole structure sa curriculum para ma-appeal ang different perspective in all subject and discipline. It encourage students to critically analyze and understand the world from the viewpoints of various cultural groups, fostering empathy, respect, and understanding across different community. So mao na siya diri sa transformation approach. And now, let's move on sa last approach. So, gitawag siya og social action approach. So, diri, sa social action approach, gina-encourage ang mga students nga mo engage sa lain-lain nga mga activities sa ilahang community. For example, sa isa ka community na ay problema, so dapat ang mga youth or mga students, gi-encourage sila nga mo join on how to solve, unsa nila pag-solve ang problema nga na silang community. Of course, example po na sa simbahan, di ba sa simbahan, natay mga gitawag ng mga youth. So, ang mga students, kailangan mo join kung sa mga activities sa mga sa simbahan. So, by that, sila, matudluan sila on how unsaon nila on how they think critically. So, muna yung nakakuan sa social action approach. That's all. Thank you.
Good evening, Madam. So my topic is the continuation of Abler's report. So multicultural education is grounded in the ideals of social justice, education equity, and a dedication to facilitating educational experiences in which all students reach their full potential as a learner and as a social aware and active beings, locally, nationally, and globally. So what is multicultural education? It is a pedagogical approach that aims at fostering educational equity and respect for diversity among students from different ethnic, racial, cultural, and social backgrounds. So the goal is to prepare students for a global society by promoting mutual understanding, respect, and acceptance. So grounding the ideals. So it means that it's fundamentally about creating an inclusive schooling environment that respects and values diversity. So social justice. So social justice, these are aspects that focuses on addressing and reducing inequalities in education that stem from differences in race, ethnicity, social economic status, gender, disabilities, and other factors. And also, it advocates for policies and practices to ensure all students have equal opportunities to succeed. So education equity, it is referred to the principle and practice of ensuring that all students have access to the same educational opportunities, resources, and supports regardless of their socioeconomic status, race, ethnicity, gender, disability, or other characteristics. It is about creating a fair and inclusive education system that can adapt to the needs of diverse learners, ensuring that every student has what they need to succeed academically and personally. So, dedication to facilitating educational experiences. So, multicultural education is committed to creating learning environments that engage and respect all students. Like, for example, teachers dedicate themselves to developing classrooms that stimulate students' curiosity and interest, making learning more appealing and effective. Also, facilitating experiences where students are actively involved in the learning process, encouraging them how to think critically, solve problems, and apply what they have learned in real-world context. So, and lastly, building relationships, fostering positive supportive relationships with students to create a safe and nurturing learning environment where students feel valued and respected. So this signifies a teacher's commitment not just to teach, but to make a development of their students as a learner and individuals, aiming a meaningful, engaging, and transformative educational experiences. So next is multicultural education acknowledge that schools are essential to laying the education for the transformation of society and the elimination of oppression and injustice. So it emphasized that multicultural education plays in a shaping future generation to create a more equitable. Through integrating a multicultural curriculum, schools can educate about diversity, teaching students about different culture, perspective, and promoting understanding and appreciation for diversity. Also, create an inclusive environment that respects values all individuals, helping to reduce discrimination and social justice. And lastly, empower students, equip students with knowledge and skills to recognize and act against injustice, making them agents of change in their communities. So next is multicultural education is a progressive approach for transformation education that holistically critiques and addresses current shortcomings, failings, and discriminatory practices in education. So multicultural education is a progressive approach means that teachings that considers cultural differences is a step that expands and transforms the concept of education. It is a goal to promote equality, understanding, and acceptance of various and culture and experiences within the educational system. Through this approach, students develop a broader understanding of the world and themselves. Discriminatory practices in education refers to actions or policies that treat individuals or groups unfairly based their characteristics such as race, ethnicity, gender, religion, disability, and socio-economic status. So these These practices can manifest in various ways, including unequal access to educational resources.
Sige.
So lastly is interdisciplinary approach. So it is a method that integrates various academic disciplines to provide a more comprehensive understanding of cultural diversity. It emphasizes that interconnectedness of human experiences, promoting a deeper appreciation and respect. Involves integrating content, method, and perspective from multiple subject areas to teach about a topic or theme. So multicultural education is not just about diversity to the curriculum. It's about fundamentally transforming the educational environment to reflect and respect the diverse society we live in. It challenges and rejects racism and other forms of discrimination in schools and societies and accept and aphorism the pluralism. The ethnic, racial, linguistic, religious, economic, and gender among others. The students, the communities, and teacher represents this educational approach promotes critical thinking, social justice, and the democratic principles of equality and freedom. So through this multicultural education, students gain the skills, attitudes, and knowledge necessary to function in promoting peace, mutual respect, and understanding in an increasingly globalized world. Thank you.
So good morning everyone. My topic is all about ideals underpinning multicultural education. So before I discuss these 6 examples, I would like to discuss first what is ideals underpinning multicultural all about. So multicultural education is an educational approach that acknowledges and incorporates cultural diversity within the learning environment. It emphasizes the importance of understanding and respecting different cultures and perspectives. So it seeks to promote social justice, equality, and equity. So now I'll be discussing the example. First is every student must have an equal opportunity to achieve his or her full potential. So every student must attain the highest educational level of achievement in the school. So every student must have an equal opportunity because we are discussing about multicultural education, and this means to have the justice and freedom within the school. So the second one is every student must be prepared to competently participate in an increasingly intercultural society. So every student must be fully prepared to competently participate every activity engaging in intercultural society. Also to enhance their kanang ma-enhance ang ilang pakig-connect sa lain-laing tao within the different society as well. So, the third one is teachers must be prepared to effectively facilitate learning for every individual student, no matter how culturally similar or different from themselves. So, teachers must teach students or every students to be respectful within other students as well. So dapat ang teachers is iyang i-prepare ang iyang mga students on how to gain respect sa lain-lain nga estudyante kay kita lahi-lain ta culture and dapat na siyang ma-practice. So the fourth one is school must be active participants in ending oppression of all types. First, by ending oppressions within their own walls, then producing socially and critically active and aware students. So school must be active participants. Like oppression is like kanang mga discriminations within the school. So dapat ang schools is maggama siya mga rules and regulations on how to end discriminations within the school. First is producing socially and critically active to aware students. The fifth one is education must become fully student-centered and inclusive of the voice and experiences of the students. So, as we all know, education is for all, and dapat education must be fully student-centered. So, dapat ang mga estudyante is na sila freedom to gain the highest attainment of level of education. So, dapat maka-experience sila sing ani, and then dili sila ma-left out. So the last one is educators activists and others must take a more active role in re-examining all educational practices and how they affect the learning of all students. So testing methods, teaching approaches, evaluations and assessments, schools, psychology, and counseling. So educators must be active and must take a more active role like giving examinations sa mga students para matas ang ilahang learning capabilities. So dapat ang mga educators must have testing methods like magama sila mga assessments, quizzes or kanang dapat nga matest jud ang level of ng thinking sa usa ka estudyante. So para pod makabalo ang usa ka educators kung naabay na learn ang iyang estudyante sa pagtudlo niya or pag-discuss sa mga lessons. So that would be all in my topic. Thank you.
So good day everyone, this is Vivian Ibarita and my topic is dimensions of multicultural education. So there are 5 dimensions of multicultural education. So first is the content integration. Deals with the extent to which teachers sue examples and content from a variety of culture and groups to illustrate key concept, generalization, and issues within their subject area or disciplines. So, content integration, this refers to the practice of incorporating examples, content, and materials from diverse culture and groups into a curriculum. So teachers intentionally select materials that represent a variety of cultural perspective to illustrate key concepts, generalization, and issues within their subject areas or discipline. So by integrating diverse content, teachers create inclusive learning environment that validates students' cultural backgrounds and experiences. Content integration helps students see themselves reflected in the curriculum and foster respect for diversity while promoting cross-cultural understanding and empathy. Content integration aims to enhance the relevance and authenticity of the curriculum by embracing the richness of cultural diversity. Next is knowledge construction process. Describes how teachers help students understand, investigate, and determine how the biases, frames of reference, and perspective within a discipline influence the way in which knowledge is constructed within it. Students also learn how to build knowledge themselves in this dimension. So, knowledge construction process focuses on guiding students in understanding how biases, frames of reference, and perspective within a subject of the construction of knowledge. So teachers facilitate this understanding by helping students critically examine and question the underlying assumption and cultural influence inherent in this knowledge presented. So this dimension emphasizes critical thinking, cultural awareness, and the ability to engage with diverse perspective to contrast knowledge and collaboratively. So next is the prejudice reduction. It describes lessons and activities used by teachers to help students develop positive attitudes towards different racial, ethnic, and cultural groups. Lessons, units, and teaching materials that include content about different racial and ethnic groups can help students develop more positive intergroup attitudes if certain conditions exist in the teaching situation. These conditions include positive image of the ethnic groups in the materials and the use of the multi-ethnic materials in the consistent and sequential way. So, prejudice reduction, it refers to lessons and activities educators use to help students create positive attitudes towards different cultural, racial, and ethnic groups. So, it's an educator's job to ensure every student can access equal learning opportunities despite their orientation. So, prejudice reduction helps one of us to be able to accept differences in our society. We can able to know one another and we can help each other to be seen and accepted. The fourth and fifth dimension will be discussed with my co-member, Mary Jane Abugan.
So, good day everyone. My name is Mary Jane Abogan. So, I will be discuss the fourth and fifth dimensions of multicultural education. So, equity pedagogy exists when teachers modify their teaching in ways that will facilitate the academic achievements of the student from diverse racial, culture, and social class groups. Equity pedagogy is an approach to teaching that focuses on ensuring fair and inclusive educational opportunities for all students, regardless for their background, identity, and circumstances. And also is to aim to create equitable learning environment that promotes academic success and personal growth for all students. It's recognized that each student is unique and seek to address involved needs to ensure all students have an equal opportunities to thrive their education. And the last one is empowering school cultures and social structures. This created when the culture and organization of the schools are transformed in ways that enable students from diverse racial, ethnic, and gender groups to experience equality and equal status. So, empowering school cultures and social structures involves creating an inclusive and supportive environment within school where all students, staff, and community members feel value, respect, and empowered. Empowering school culture and social structure is to cultivate a positive school climate and promote equal diversity and collaboration, leading to better education outcomes and personal development for all students. By creating empowering school cultures and social structures, school can help students develop a sense of agency, confidence, and resilience, and also promoting collaboration and mutual respect within the school community. That's all. Thank you.